Welcome into the Jacksonville Jaguars franchise, where today we are back home in Duval as the Indianapolis Colts come to town for some Thursday night primetime action in a game that could solidify our spot in the playoffs. But the last time these two teams met, it did not go too well for our Jaguars. 38-23, we dropped a stinker to the Colts. Though if you look at the team stats, it was a pretty close battle. The only big difference was the turnovers. You get into third down conversions, same, we had 2 fourth down conversions. Red zone percentage, though, for us was really bad, 25%. Penalty yards, pretty even. Time of possession was even. It really just came down to the fact that we couldn't keep the ball on our side. Trevor Lawrence had an interception, 2 touchdowns, but he had less than 40% complete. It was so bad that at one point Coach Boston put in Jaren Hall to see if he could help out the offense, and he threw 33% and 1 more pick. In the rushing game, Trevor Lawrence, he had another rushing touchdown. He also had 3 fumbles. We gave up 2 touchdowns to Jonathan Taylor, and Travis Etienne was held to 2.6 yards a carry. And that was largely thanks to DeForest Buckner down the middle. He had 2 TFLs and 2 sacks, but our defense was also making a lot of plays in the backfield. Aluakin had 5 TFLs, 1.5 sacks. Trayvon Walker, half a sack. But also what was slowing down the running game was the linebacker core here for the Colts, and Jonathan Springs and Zaire Franklin. A good amount of speed with Buckner down the middle took away outside and inside rushing. With just 3 games left in the season, we gotta figure that out as we could clinch the playoffs today. As it stands, the Houston Texans, a team we just beat last week, are 3 games behind us. With 3 games left to go, we win today, there is no chance that any team can jump us in the AFC South, and we will have clinched the division and we'll be fighting for seeding. And a game that will be pretty important for us to keep an eye on is the Steelers hosting the Ravens. If the Ravens win 1 more game, they will solidify themselves as the 1 seed, and our chance at the bye will have floated away. Now, with just 1 divisional win under our belt this season, we'll look to double that today as the Colts will kick us off. Set back to return Devin Duvernay. Catches it at the 3. He will follow behind number 3 up to about the 25, where the offense will be heading out. Trevor Lawrence looking for a bounce back game from this previous Colts matchup. And for Etienne, who surpassed 1,000 yards last week, looking to have more than just 2.6 a carry. They start right away with the run. Etienne down the middle for 4. And of course, the big news before the last game, even against the Texans, was Etienne got that contract extension. He responded by 3 touchdowns. We could use more of that today, as it's going to be play action. And under pressure, ball pops out. Lawrence has already fumbled, and Kwity Paye recovers. Colts will take over well inside plus side, and that is now 4 fumbles against the Colts this season. And as we mentioned, in that last game, DeForest Buckner was a big part of it. He gets involved early on in this one in that sack, forcing the fumble as he was the second one to arrive. Richardson and Taylor could hit the field just inside the 25. Start with a play action pass and overthrowing a wide open receiver. Hard for the Jags to feel lucky with how the game started, but that's a good play for them as Richardson missed. They go back to Taylor here, and he will pick up about a gain of 6. Despite the 4-10 record, the Colts have played very good football against our Jaguars this season. Look for them to continue that as Mason Smith gets the pressure, and it's a dropped touchdown. 2 miscues in the passing game will leave this up to a field goal. By no means should this possibly be and will be a 3-point game. But Willie Gay makes the field goal and will continue to hover around the 25-yard line as Lawrence comes back on out. Leads the league in quarterback rushing, but he's struggled to hold on to the ball while facing a division rival. They hand it off to Etienne, and he'll pick up a gain of 6. I might just have to lean extra hard on Etienne today. The passing game doesn't appear like it's going to be open for long. going with the sweep, but the speed of the Colts drags him down. He nearly found the edge. And if he did, we're looking at a big gain there, but a 3rd and 4, hard count, and we get some early movement. It should be on to Forrest Buckner, a free first down. You got a feeling that Coach Boston going to be very happy with the hard count there from Lawrence, as it was questionable on what they were going to do there with how the passing game has opened. Running game here opens down the middle. ETN with the hard cut, gain of 9. Now, obviously, harping a lot on the passing plays, considering there's just been the one. But with how often Lawrence has fumbled with them, it makes you a little bit worrisome. With a throw into the turf, possibly the safest option there for Lawrence. We'll bring up a 3rd and 1. It's going to be an I formation. And they'll go right back to ETN, who's got the first down. It was wide open down the middle, but that might have been due to a holding call as a flag comes in. And they're going to get it on Quinn Miners. So a 3rd and 10 here at the 34. As Lawrence has to bail out, he will elude DeForest Buckner and slide down with the first down at the 48. That's exactly what the Jaguars are going to need from Trevor Lawrence today. He's got to be quick with those decision making because the offensive line has struggled against blocking this rush. And that's even with all the upgrades that they had made in the last offseason. Upgraded the entire interior, added a tackle as well. And an end around here for Thomas. They got Brenton Strange picking up a block on the safety. It's a big gain for the Jaguars. Down to the 22. Of course, the last time these two teams met, it was Thomas coming back his first game back from injury. He had 2 catches, 2 touchdowns. He's looking to put together another big performance here as they're looking his way. Ball is well overthrown. And it was a favorable matchup there with Connor. 2nd and 10 at the 22. Lawrence looks to keep it. A good job coming down to make the stop is the 22 of the Colts. Ironically enough, as we were just talking about what yardage they were at, 3rd and 9. They bring the blitz, and it's thrown off the belly, I believe, of the right tackle. The Colts brought a heavy blitz, and it pans out well in their favor. Cam Little will trot on out here with the field goal unit, and the Jags will tie this game. With a little over 2 minutes left in the first, it is 3-3. But now to see a full drive here from the Colts starting back at about their own 30. And they find the strike this time to Woods, who catches the ball and is going to pick up a massive gain, nearly flipping the field. He dropped the touchdown the last time the Colts were out on offense. This time he gets by the linebackers, nearly getting to the opposite 30. Spinning off the tackle, eventually Walker and Aluakin bring down Taylor. He really didn't have massive yards per carry last time, but the 2 touchdowns were costly. Picks up a nice gain of 6 on play 1. And then they go with a read option. Richardson with a one-on-one with Savage, who will slow him down. Campbell will help bring him down just inside the red zone. And that's just something, frankly, this defense haven't really had to play against this year, is a rushing quarterback. As they go to Taylor, patience pays off as he's bouncing off some weak tackles, a gain of 5. Though as he is a bit slow to get up, seems like he felt every single one of those hits. Takes his team, though, inside the 15 with what should be the final play of the first quarter. They will look to pass the ball. And eventually getting it out to Woods. It will be a first down as we start the second quarter. Pass rush was arriving, but didn't get back there quick enough. He had plenty of time, and it is 3-3 here to end the first quarter with the Colts knocking on the doorstep. As we sit here in prime time, it's time for our defense to play some prime time action. Force a turnover here. Could be huge. Taylor maybe back to the line. The Jaguars have one of the toughest run defenses in the league, but very much beating it are the Colts. They just shoved everyone away from the left side of the line and easily marched into the end zone. Jonathan Taylor gets the first touchdown of the game as he follows the pulling guard and dives into his own lineman. And they ran that play directly at Devin Lloyd, who was playing down at the line. A smart choice from the Colts, and it leaves our Jaguars trailing here as we start our next drive. Looking to pass the ball here, delayed setup and throws it out late for Travis, who ends up dropping it. Ultimately, that's probably a good thing, as he would have lost yardage. Instead, it's 2nd and 10 at the 28 as they get the pulling guard, but linebackers there waiting. We'll bring up a quick 3rd down here. The Jaguars will need to pick up 7 yards. They get motion along the left-hand side in Davis. Looking to set up the screen here. They get it out to Travis. The blockers, however, don't flow with him, and it will just be a 1st down. Perhaps he needed to keep them a little bit closer instead of running too far to the outside. Still ends up picking up the 1st down. Can't complain about that. As they throw right back to him, he's going to pick up an extra 8. As we saw when the offense came onto the field, he's 2nd and running back receiving, and with those 2 catches, he's very close to retaking that 1st spot. Etienne right down the middle again. He is very much earning that contract extension. They've locked him down through 2029. We'll see if his legs can handle all the workload, though, throughout that time. As they do look to pass the ball, or Lawrence will step up and slide down in front of the big hit. He was surrounded by about 5 to 6 Colts defenders. Smart for him to get down. Already had the fumble earlier in the game. Leaves a 2nd and 1. They go back to Travis. He's got the 1st down before met by Franklin. Just keeping a steady drive going here is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're down to the 25. 2 go to the left-hand side, 2 tight ends to the right. And they might be looking for Sexton here, who seemingly lost track of the ball. However, a flag does come in late. And they're going to get a very weak-looking pass interference call on Franklin. There really was not much of any contact on that, and the ball was definitely uncatchable. But it's down to the 4-yard line here as they go to Travis, who lowers the shoulder, picks up about half the yardage needed. They get with DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart down the middle, a big front here to try to move. But the Jaguars will do it. Both lines open up the running lanes for the running backs as they trot in for their touchdowns, and we are back to a tied game here in Jacksonville, 10-10. And with 3:20 left before we reach halftime, still plenty of action here to go in the 1st half, as it will be the 29, where Richardson and Taylor will head back on out. They've had one really good long drive, one really good short drive, and one drive that almost ended on one play. Unfortunately for the Jaguars, Oluwakin couldn't hold on to it. He drops the interception. And then they go to Taylor, who's going to go right underneath the blitz from the corner spot. Penalty does come in here late, and they're going to get a holding call. So accepting it is Boston, backs up the Colts to the 20 for 2nd and 20. They don't bring the blitz here, lined up in a heavy look, and overrunning it was Walker. Richardson steps up and picks up a good gain. Makes it slightly more manageable here for 3rd down. They'll need 12 yards. As we approach the 2.5-minute mark. And rolling to the outside, getting the catch, is Adonai Mitchell. They missed him on a potential touchdown ball, their first possession, where they started around the 30-yard line. Picks up a nice conversion there, throwing out to Woods. He was a heavy target the last game, picks up another 1st down here. Most of his work today coming on 1 catch, but 3 for 52 is not a bad total. As we are inside the 2-minute warning now, Richardson under pressure rolls and throws again to Woods. Ball pops out, but he rolls back on top of it. And after a quick review coming from the booth, they actually say no fumble. They recovered it anyway, so it didn't really matter. Ball underthrown again, that time I believe for downs. Richardson being a little hot and cold with his passing. He's missed a couple big ones. Leaves a 3rd and 4. Bunch goes to the left-hand side. Quick throw off the top of a helmet. Takes off all the power, and it's 4th and 4 at the 38. Of course, that incompletion does stop the clock, and it's going to be about a 55-yarder here for Gay. As he's lined it up, and he puts enough power behind it. That one might have been good from about 57, maybe 58. The Colts once again take the lead here, 13-10. But with a minute 29, starting back at the 20, Jacksonville will have an opportunity to try to at least tie this game. We'll see how Trevor Lawrence handles this opportunity as he throws out of a sack. No one quite got open on that one, and due to that, pass rush eventually arrived. 2nd and 10. Let's go with a spread look here. Back out to ETN. This time blockers are out in front of him. Not going to get to the first down marker, though. A gain of 9 as they will go hurry up. Getting right back to it. Tick under a minute here left in the half with a blocker out in front. What a big-time saving tackle comes in from behind. Slows down that play. It's just a good first down conversion rather than a play down the sideline. As they come out with a tighter shotgun look here. Throws quick to the outside. They get Devin Duvernay, who turns up, picking up about 9 and out of bounds. Good quick throw there from Trevor Lawrence. Let his speedy guy do things out in space. Drops under center here with 2nd and 1. And they go right back to a short throw. This time Brenton Strange turns up a little awkwardly there. Might have something wrong with that ankle. Or perhaps it just got stuck in the turf. We've seen that happen all too often. Players very prominent about their thoughts on that subject. 45 seconds left. As they'll look to throw, this time they go across the middle. Devin Duvernay lowering the shoulder. And they'll call a timeout there with 38 seconds left. That puts the Jags just about inside their field goal range. They've got one timeout remaining. 38 seconds at the 35. Trips go to the right-hand side for Lawrence. Jags, they look to bring a little bit of pressure, but throwing downfield, it's Davis tipped away. Great coverage there by Hitchens. He had a pick in the previous matchup, forces a 3rd and 1 here. 32 seconds left, and they go ETN right down the middle. He's got the first down. They're trying to go hurry up from there. Save a little bit of some time. They got that one timeout in their back pocket. They're letting this clock roll, though. They've got to hurry things up. Motion's going to take some more time off the clock. Throw downfield, and too far for Thomas. It's smart there from Lawrence to at least get it up. Let him try to make a play. They'll call their final timeout. They send out Cam Little with a strong leg. He'll tie this game up 13-13 as we head to halftime. A great divisional battle here, though, for the Jaguars, who have the opposite record of the Colts, 10-4 to 4-10. You would prefer to have a little bit more of a cushion here. They've been trailing. They've been the responding team. It's time that they get out in front and make a statement. Of course, the big game that we have to keep an eye on is a Monday night game against the Steelers and Ravens, so we won't find that information out until after this game. The rest of these don't really matter too much. It's this game and the Ravens. So focusing back on into our game, where we start the second half, it will be the Colts on offense. They start at the 26. One short drive for them today. They've had a few good longer drives, a touchdown and a field goal coming off those longer drives. And a big first play here as Jonathan Taylor takes them to the midfield line. A good offensive line here for the Colts. They've opened up several good lanes for Taylor. He takes advantage of them as they go right back to him, trying to get to the outside. Campbell and Aluakin there. Only a gain of 4. With how quick Taylor is off that handoff, it's hard to tell sometimes if it's actually the handoff or the pass. That's where he gets the sneaky yards on you. With a 2nd and short. Looking to go deep downfield, 1v1 Campbell and Pittman, and Campbell jumps right in front of it. He's going to look to return this one, taking it down the sideline, picking up some good blocks. Richardson and Taylor get stuck in on the stop, as well as one of the offensive linemen. But Tyson Campbell gets the pick, exactly what the Jaguars were needing to try to take charge of this game. And it came with just a lack of awareness, really, it seemed like, on where that ball was with Pittman. Jaguars go with the end around to Thomas to start the second half, and it's a good gain of 7. And the passing game hasn't quite opened up like you would hope. They can still get the receivers involved a little bit in some other aspects. ETN with a hard cut back to the left-hand side. Picks up a good block from Gabe Davis. He will outrun Kwity Paye, and the Jaguars will take the lead. And it came off what was looking to be a stretch to the right-hand side. Travis Etienne, as soon as he took that ball, saw the lane open up to the left. Good blocking downfield from the receivers, and the legs did the rest of the work. The Jaguars, in 2 plays, make it 20-13. Coming off that Colts interception. It'll be at the 27. where they'll probably look to go a little bit more to 28's way or use him to open up the quarterback running. A flag does come down. And by the looks of things, it will be coming back. They're going to get Will Fries with a second holding call today. He backed him up a few drives ago to Taylor here. And a big hit comes in from Lloyd to help take him down. He was bouncing off a couple different tacklers there. Only a gain of 2 leaves second and 18 at the 19. Bunch to the right-hand side as they go back to Taylor. And an ankle grab plus Campbell brings him down, another gain of 2. This is where you have to be able to get off the field. They missed an opportunity with a 3rd and long in the first half. Midway through the third here. And looking to scramble, Richardson gets chopped out by Campbell. Leaves him 4 yards short of the 4th down marker. And ultimately, the Colts will decide to punt. Nearly picking it up there on 4th. Starting at the 39 are the Jaguars. As they go back to Etienne, he gets a gain of 5. The bad news for the Jaguars, following that run, it looks like Etienne a little bit shaken up. He'll head to the trainer's table. Looks like they were working on that leg. Hopefully it's just some cramps. Levy Brown comes out here for 2nd and 5. Normally more of a receiving style back, but he gets to the outside. Some speed headed down the sideline. 10-5 touchdown. The rookie's first touchdown of his career. Was drafted at receiver. They moved him to play running back, mostly just a return man here for Jacksonville. But he provides a lot of speed, and he put it on display there. And that makes it 2 straight 2-play drives for the Jacksonville Jaguars, both of which are ending on long touchdown runs, and a 27-13 game here, still about midway through the third quarter. They go to Jonathan Taylor, and it's a good stop by Lloyd. And now an injury to Will Fries. He's had a couple penalties in this one. Now he's going to head to the sideline. Don't want to speculate too much, but it looks to be a lower body injury for him. 2nd and 9 as the Colts go right back to Taylor. Picks up a good block on Lewican. But Savage comes down from the safety spot to help make the stop. Brings up a 3rd and 3. They will look to throw to the outside, right back to Taylor. Spins off the tackle of Lloyd, hops over another tackle from Campbell, and eventually Lewican pushes him out at the 50. A great play there from Jonathan Taylor, but he just looks absolutely gassed after that play. But he's going to head right back out onto the field. Richardson under pressure, and he delivers a clean ball. Mitchell gets the grab, and it's a gain of 7. They thought they were going to be losing 7 with the rush. Clean from Walker. Leaves a 2nd and 3. As they throw to the outside, wide open is Mitchell, pushed out by Campbell. He's been a pretty nice welcome to this game for the Colts. Didn't get really involved in that first game despite the big win. Early movement from Smith. A flag comes in late. It looked like he was back onside. Doesn't matter anyway, though, as Jonathan Taylor picks up a hard-earned 13. But surprisingly, the flag was not on Smith. It was on Campbell, so several guys jumped early. Very odd considering it didn't really look like there was a hard count given by Richardson. Who looks to scramble here, picks up a good block from his receiver and down inside the 5. He's kind of playing a similar game to Lawrence when the passing isn't working, just tuck and run. It's worked out pretty well today. As he will look to do so again, he gets by the rookie in Alford. And it's a touchdown for the Colts. Richardson does it on the ground. Jonathan Taylor helping out along the way. And that'll make this a 7-point game. 54 seconds left in the third quarter. And news coming from the Jacksonville sideline as Etienne is being held out the remainder of this game. It was a hamstring injury, not a cramp. We should see a steady workload of Tank Bigsby the remainder of this one. Maybe even more from Brown with that touchdown run. They could get him out in space. Clearly, he knows what to do with it. Tank cuts under. Quinn Miners picks up another few. And we'll see if they look to snap the ball here before the fourth quarter. 1 second left. They do. They go out to Brown, and he is contained. They lose yardage, and it looked like it was open, which was probably why they snapped that ball. But we head to the fourth quarter, and it is 27-20 with the Colts set to get the ball. As we get the fourth quarter officially underway, We've got 7:52 left in this one, and it's a 7-point ball game. It's anyone's ball game. As they go Jonathan Taylor down the middle, and he's just stepping over everyone on the ground. The Colts with their strong offensive line have really taken advantage of this Jaguars front seven that, again, typically has been one of the better run defenses. They pick up 8 on first down. It's 2nd and 2. Looking to stretch it to the outside. A diving miss. It's caught by Woods. It's his 5th catch on the day. 71 yards in total. Takes him up to the 44. Jaguars bring the blitz. Quick throw as they finally get Downs. His first catch of the game. For the most part, coverage is done pretty well. They've just gotten Woods and Mitchell going in this one. 2nd and 3, another early jump. They don't flag it, but again, it won't matter. Taylor with a nice gash to the left side. As we move inside, 6 minutes left in this one. It's really heating up. It's becoming a Biggs versus Biggs battle as Bibbs checks in at running back. Taylor getting a breather. They fake it on the jet sweep. Hand it off down the middle. A gain of 2 met by Devin Lloyd. I'm sure Taylor appreciative of the breather. He'll come right back in after. With a 2nd and 8. They will look to pass the ball wide open down the field. He nearly misses Mitchell. He makes the adjustment, and the Colts have tied this game. It was cover 2 with a press on the outside. The safety, Savage, does not flow over the top. Going to be one of the easiest plays on the day for Richardson, and he nearly missed it. The 2nd-year receiver, he makes the adjustment. And he ties this game up 27-all. Just over 5 minutes left. It's going to be up to Trevor Lawrence here to get his team fired up. With Tank Bigsby with him in the backfield. They hand it off to him, and he'll pick up 6. And a pretty key injury here for how the remainder of this game might go to Forrest Buckner. He's going to make his way to the bench. And that should just make things easier here for the offensive interior. 2nd and 4. Back in shotgun. Handed off to Tank. And he runs straight at the linebackers. A short gain. Good stand there on 2nd down. They'll have to do it again here on 3rd. They need 3. Lawrence hands it off to Tank. And he is stopped. They say no gain. Back at the 37. 2 straight scoring drives. And it looks like another injury here as Tank Bigsby a little bit shaken up. Well, surprisingly, Coach Boston has his offense out on the field here for 4th and 3. With a hard count, they get the new DT coming in for DeForest Buckner to jump early. It's a free first down for the Jags. A massive gamble from Coach Boston, and it pays off. First down at the 42, 4:26 remaining in this one. As they set up the screen here to Brown, trying to get that speed again to the outside, and he's got another first. And so far, we haven't heard any news yet on Tank's injury. Obviously, he's not out there, but this is a shotgun look, not typically his formation. Brown bounces it to the outside and picks up another 8. He's showing a nice little burst out there. So much so, it's got his quarterback a little bit hyped up. They're down to the 36. They get motion. It's Josiah DeGuara. And then back to Brown, this time down the middle. Not finding the first down there. And going from essentially no workload to a pretty heavy workload here late. They're relying a lot on the rookie. Josiah DeGuara, fullback dive, picks up the first down. And of course, he wasn't with this team to start the year. They had to sign him after all the injuries to their other rookie in Sexton, the tight end. Good signing bringing him back. They get Brown to the outside. The speed, not quite enough there. Moore ends up catching up to him, bringing him down as we hit the 2-minute warning. Inside field goal range, though, are the Jaguars. At the 29 as they go with a stretch from the shotgun look, and Brown maybe picks up 1 or 2, but a flag might push them back even further. They get Ezra Cleveland with the hold, and it's 2nd and 20 back at the 38. Bunch goes to the right-hand side, and they go with a third end around Thomas. He's just going to pick up what he can find immediately, which is about 5 yards. And I will bring up a 3rd and 13 as they approach the minute mark here. It's a spread empty look for Lawrence. Snapping that ball about 1 second on the play clock. He's under pressure. He shakes one, but he's not going to shake the second. They'll lose 3 back at the 36. This will be a long field goal for the lead. Campbell with about a 53-yarder. He had a long kick earlier, and he's got a long one here. That one, though, with about a yard or 2 to spare. But he puts the Jags up in this one by 3. It'll be up to the Colts to answer. With a minute left, they have 2 timeouts. They had to use one earlier. As they start with a throw to the outside, it's Woods. Gain of 4 and out of bounds. As for Gay, he's going to need about the 41-yard line. And they're not even to their side of the 40 yet. Looking to throw on the in route. They're going to find Pittman, who's breaking away inside the 30. Savage to slow him down, and they finally catch up to him down around the 4. It was an in-facing zig that opened it up. It was a short throw, but he just took advantage of the space left out in front of him, and Richardson scrambles in. The Colts with a PAT here as our cameraman's trying to figure things out. Will take a 4-point lead with 43 seconds left. Just an absolute lapse by the defense, as we'll be starting back at the 30. Got to find our way all the way down to the end zone. It's trips to the right-hand side, 1 to the left for Lawrence. He's got to find some big passing plays here. Throws it out late. That's going to be to Brown, who will pick up about 7 and out of bounds. Biggest thing is finding an open target as quickly as you can, hitting it. They have 3 timeouts. They can make something happen here. As it's going to be a high ball and through the hands of Strange. It was good ball placement from Trevor Lawrence. It was over the top of the linebacker. Fortunately, he just couldn't bring it down. And now they got a 3rd and 3 here. 33 seconds left. Obviously 4-down territory at this point. As he's going to step up and scramble. Lawrence cutting back to the left-hand side and nearly breaking away from that bunch. Down to the 39. First timeout is called. A massive play coming in from QB1 here in Jacksonville. Still with 2 timeouts left. They still got to get the ball into the end zone. And with a possible 1v1, they're going up for Strange. And Hitchens takes it away. They will not be walking out of here with a victory. The Colts will have swept them. And the division is still going to be up for grabs at this point. But just terribly unlucky for Trevor Lawrence, who gave his tight end an opportunity. Was the 1v1, and he just didn't go up to get it. Hitchens had a pick in the last one. He gets the pick in this one, and he ends the game. Colts get the better of the Jags. In fact, that's now being swept by both the Colts and the Titans this year. They had the one win against the Texans, and it's only the Texans who have the opportunity to upset the Jaguars and take away the division championship. We'll see them in week 18. We'll have one non-divisional game to round out the season next time. And we've just got to feel pretty lucky that right now there is not a single team from our division outside of obviously ourselves currently in the playoff picture, because we can't play well against them for whatever reason that may be. But with that loss, it is pretty clear we are not by any means going to be taking that 1 seed. In fact, we just dropped out of the 2 seed to the Chiefs. We dropped down to 3. In good news, even though the Texans did end up winning with just 2 games left and us having beat them, there is some sort of tiebreaker situation that means we have already clinched our division. And with that, we have clinched the playoffs. So that is fantastic, Chiefs. They've also clinched the playoffs. We're still deciding in the AFC East. The Buffalo Bills 8-7 and the Jets also 8-7. And if both of those teams happen to lose their last 2 games and Miami wins, Miami could sneak in, despite them being currently under 500 at 7-8. But the biggest thing is we've just got to figure out whatever it is this year that means that we don't play well in division, because we have one more divisional game. But before we get there, we have a road game in Denver against the 6-9 Broncos. So make sure you stick around, hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down at the sub button and tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday. We got the Stanford Cardinal as they're looking to round out their season as well this coming week, at least regular season wise, with a lot of big games. You don't want to miss it over there. With a defense that is doing phenomenal, an offense that could step up, and that might have won us the game here today. We'll see you next time in Denver as we face the Broncos.